Once declared the best food for the future by the World Health Organization, this blue-green algae is a protein-rich antioxidant, and it may support and maintain your immune system. Spirulina is a dried supplement made from two species of blue-green algae. The algae naturally grows in warm freshwater lakes, like Lake Texcoco in Mexico and Lake Chad, and this sits on the border of Chad, Niger, Nigeria and Cameroon. Locals traditionally harvested the algae and dry it into cakes. Once it's been dried, spirulina contains up to 70% protein. It's a nutrient-rich antioxidant, and it takes less land, water and energy to produce than staple crops like corn and soy. Farmers use it to enrich their animal feed and to improve the quality of meat that they produce. It pulls high quantities of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, and it may even be used to convert city sewage back to clean water. Spirulina gathered attention as a possible pharmaceutical in the 40s and the 50s. In 1974, the World Health Organization declared it the best food for the future to combat malnutrition, especially in children. Spirulina contains powerful antioxidants. It's high in protein and full of nutrients. It may reduce the risk of heart disease. It may reduce inflammation, especially in allergies, and boost immunity. It may lower blood sugar. It can possibly prevent fatigue, and it may protect the liver, the brain, and the kidneys. When free radicals build up, they disrupt structures like machinery and even DNA inside the cells. This process is linked to a great many diseases, including cancer, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and arthritis. The most robust benefit of spirulina is probably its antioxidant effect. Multiple cell, animal, and human studies have demonstrated its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Furthermore, spirulina contains diverse active compounds with antioxidant activity. It can contribute to whole body health, and when combined with diet and lifestyle choices, it can delay and prevent disease onset. A review of 12 clinical trials suggests that spirulina can protect the heart not only through its antioxidant properties, but also by lowering cholesterol, triglycerides, and blood pressure. Multiple clinical studies have revealed that spirulina lowers blood pressure, in particular the diastolic blood pressure, the lower of the two numbers, measured when the heart is resting between beats. It significantly decreased in people taking spirulina supplements. High levels of cholesterol and triglycerides increase a person's risk of heart disease and stroke. In animal and human studies, spirulina decreased the total cholesterol, the LDL or the bad cholesterol, and the triglycerides in the blood. These markers may increase as we age, and spirulina may therefore have key benefits in elderly people or those prone to high levels. Inflammation, like oxidative stress, is linked to many different conditions. Inflammatory diseases include everything from depression to irritable bowel disease to arthritis. Spirulina contains multiple bioactive compounds that are known to reduce inflammation. Taken as a supplement, spirulina blocks the activity of molecules that stimulate the inflammatory response. In both humans and rat studies, it reversed an age-related increase in inflammatory cytokines. Allergic rhinitis is the most common allergic reaction to environmental allergens like pollen. It is also a major part of asthma. In one clinical study on 15 people, spirulina decreased all measured symptoms of allergic rhinitis compared to a placebo. Although limited, the evidence suggests that spirulina may help with the allergic rhinitis and other inflammatory conditions. Animal and human studies have demonstrated spirulina's immune-boosting properties. By activating white blood cells and the tissues that produce them, it can help the body to defend against bacteria, viruses, and even tumours without causing excessive inflammation. In a clinical trial on 169 HIV-infected people, daily supplementation with spirulina, along with a balanced diet, increased the levels of immune cells CD4 and reduced the viral load after 6 months. Spirulina reduced the viral load and liver damage in a trial on 30 people with hepatitis C. Spirulina extract improved natural killer cell activity in 2 small trials on 14 healthy people. In a trial on 19 rowers, supplementation with spirulina protected against the deficit in immune function caused by strenuous exercise. We need sugar to keep a supply of energy available for our body, but high blood sugar can lead to insulin resistance and diabetes. In a review of 12 clinical studies, spirulina significantly reduced fasting blood glucose. Clinical studies suggest that it may also increase sensitivity to insulin. However, some researchers dispute the claim that spirulina can lower the blood sugar in type 2 diabetes. 12 weeks of spirulina tablets at 8 grams per day didn't change the blood sugar levels in a group of 37 diabetic Koreans. Each person's health status and possibly race may affect their response to spirulina. Spirulina may improve exercise output and prevent fatigue. In a study of 18 adult men, both short and long-term spirulina supplementation slightly but significantly improved exercise output and reduced both physical and mental fatigue. In a second limited study of only 9 moderately trained adult men, it improved markers of physical endurance. The evidence for this effect is limited but promising. However, spirulina was ineffective at improving chronic fatigue in a series of 4 trials. Arsenic is an element naturally found in very low concentrations in the environment and much higher concentrations in pesticides and wood preservatives. In some parts of the world, people are exposed to low levels of arsenic in their drinking water, and they suffer chronic poisoning as a result. In a human trial on 41 people, spirulina and zinc supplements improved the symptoms of arsenic poisoning. People taking the supplements cleared more arsenic in their urine and had less arsenic in their tissues. In one study, the hexane extract of spirulina cleared almost 90% of arsenic built up in a rat's liver. A second tissue study suggested it was more effective than the typical alcohol extract at removing the arsenic. In a limited human study of 3 people, 4.5 grams a day of spirulina lowered blood cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and it improved symptoms of fatty liver disease, indicating that it might be helpful in people with this disease. Unsurprisingly, one of the reasons why spirulina may support the liver function is tied to its antioxidant property. In diabetic rats, spirulina protected liver tissues against oxidative stress and improves the markers of liver function. Spirulina may also protect the liver from damage caused by a high-fat diet, as was demonstrated in rats. It may also protect the liver from age-related inflammation by optimizing the gut microbiome. A small clinical trial and some animal research are clearly insufficient to conclude for certain that the spirulina supports the liver. Too much iron in the brain increases oxidative stress. It damages neurons and it may trigger a cognitive decline. Spirulina's antioxidant effect may reverse the stress. Likewise, spirulina decreased harmful inflammation in microglial cells, which is thought to underlie diseases like Alzheimer's. In one cell-based study, an extract of spirulina prevented neuron death by increasing a signaling pathway involving brain-derived neurotrophic factor and CREB, both of which protect the neurons from damage and maintain brain function and flexibility during stress. In rats with Parkinson's disease, spirulina decreased cell death of the neurons that produce and release dopamine. Researchers have yet to investigate this effect in humans, however, it's of significant interest. Many commonly used drugs are excreted by the kidneys. This work taxes the kidneys and exposes them to damage. Similarly, in people with diabetes, the kidneys struggle under an increased oxidative load. Spirulina's antioxidant properties prevent the oxidative stress in the kidneys. In animals, spirulina supports the kidneys while they process the medication and filter the toxins out of the blood. Oral leukoplakia is a white patch on the mouth lining and it cannot be rubbed off. This condition is more frequent among tobacco smokers or chewers and is associated with an increased risk of mouth cancer. Spirulina resolved the oral leukoplakia in 45% of cases in a clinical trial on 87 tobacco chewers, suggesting that it has potential to prevent mouth cancer. Spirulina activates natural killer cells, which may improve the body's immune response to tumours. It may also block tumour development more directly. In one study, rats were dosed with a carcinogenic toxin and either supplemented with spirulina or not. 20% of the rats given the spirulina developed tumours compared to 80% of the control group. In multiple cell and animal studies, spirulina slowed or reversed the tumour growth. Furthermore, in a cell study, spirulina was a stronger antioxidant and had more anti-cancer activity than a similar blue-green algae called chlorella. Spirulina supplementation may increase the death rates when combined with the chemotherapy drug fluorouracil. This is according to one mouse study. The mechanism of spirulina's anti-cancer effect is still under investigation. It may be subject to drug interactions or only be protective under certain conditions. While nutrition is generally reportedly based on 100 grams of dried material, most people will never consume that much at a time. So clinical research reflects this. Most clinical studies have investigated doses between 2 and 10 grams. While the people who traditionally live near the Lake Texcoco and Chad may attest to the safety of much larger quantities of spirulina, modern research has yet to investigate this in human studies. Many of the health benefits of spirulina have only been tested in cell or animal studies. Spirulina is available in a powder, a pill, a capsule, or a liquid extract. Traditionally, it was eaten as a dried cake. All spirulina supplements are made from the biomass of the whole organism. Spirulina is a cyanobacterium and not a plant. Some spirulina is marketed as blue-green algae. It could also be chlorella or clamat. If you're looking specifically for spirulina supplements, make sure to buy a high-quality supplement that only lists spirulina on its label. Clinical studies have used a range of doses to investigate spirulina's effect. People have seen beneficial effects from as little as 400 milligrams per day, though most studies use doses between 2 to 10 grams per day. Toxicological studies show that spirulina is very well tolerated. Rats who were fed spirulina as nearly half of their complete diet had no chronic negative effects. As more and more people move away from commercial kibble diets for their pets, pet owners are looking for nutritional supplements and additives to keep their dogs and cats in top conditions. Spirulina is a popular supplement for pets on a homemade raw diet. Only one study has investigated the effects of spirulina on dogs. This study found that spirulina polysaccharides protected the bone marrow from damage caused by chemo and radiotherapy. In one cat study, spirulina increased the activity of immune cells. Because of its excellent safety profile and history of animal feeding, spirulina is considered safe for dogs and cats. In dogs' diets, spirulina is used as a source of vitamins, iodine, and trace minerals. For more information about herbs, supplements, and health conditions, check out my website.